If you expected politicians to do absolutely nothing after the last alleged mass shooting in Virginia Beach, you would be wrong again. This is from USA Today. The nation is watching. Virginia governor orders special session on gun control. What is that? Let's see, what is that again? Oh yeah, that's right. It's not gun control, it's people control. After Virginia Beach shootings, Virginia Governor Ralph Blackface Northam on Tuesday ordered a special legislative session to address gun violence 4 days after a public works employee killed 12 people in a shooting rampage at a municipal building in Virginia Beach. Northam said this, "The nation is watching. We must do more than give our thoughts and prayers. We must give Virginians the action they deserve because we are politicians who care about people and we want the best for them." Northam said he would seek universal background checks. What is that? That right there is a violation of the Second Amendment, which simply says a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be universally background checked, shall not be infringed, shall not be banned. Oh, and here's another. Ban on assault weapons and suppressors. Let's talk about suppressors for a second. You may be thinking to yourself, I'll never need a suppressor. I'll never use a suppressor, and that's fine, but maybe somebody else sees the benefit in it. Maybe when those armed intruders come into your door at night, you don't want to blow your eardrums off by shooting them in close quarters. In a room, have you ever fired a firearm inside of a room? It is deafening and it can literally cause hearing damage, permanent hearing damage. So there's a value to suppressors. Extreme risk protection orders. Now you may be thinking to yourself, Northam, he's a stinking Democrat. You know what these extreme risk protection orders are, right? If I'm in a store, you're in a store and you happen to be open carrying and somebody sees your gun and they're alarmed and they're scared to death because they're an SJW, they can get into your car and follow you home, find out where you live, dial 911, call the cops, and tell the cops that they don't believe that you are fit to have a firearm, that you may be a danger to yourself or to others, and the cops can get a warrant from a judge and they can come in and violate your Fourth Amendment rights, ransack your house, take all of your guns away, and throw your ass in a cage. That's what an extreme risk protection order is. And you might be saying to yourself, well, nobody but an SJW would seek an extreme risk protection order and make that kind of law of the land. But think again. This comes from whitehouse.gov, guys. This is entitled, President Donald J. Trump is taking immediate action to secure our schools. And down here it says, President Trump's administration is calling on every state to adopt extreme risk protection orders. The president is directing the Department of Justice to provide technical assistance to states at their request on establishing and implementing ERPOs. That's extreme risk protection orders. ERPOs allow law enforcement with approval from a court to remove firearms from individuals who are, as they say, a demonstrated threat to themselves or others. They don't have to rely on this demonstrated thing. They can just go on the words of a neighbor, a family member, and then they take these risk orders very, very seriously. So what you have here is a president who is for extreme risk protection orders, just like Ralph Blackface Northam is, and there's no difference, guys. At the end of the day, what this means is a trampling of your Second Amendment rights. This to them is, oh, shall not be infringed. Screw that. We shall infringe. That's what an extreme risk protection order is. It's an infringement. The president's for it. Northam's for it. Let's move on. Child access prevention. You know, they're always going to throw the kids in there. We got to protect the kids. You know, in order to protect the kids, we just got to take more of your rights away. That's just the way it is. That's how things work. That's how life works. Get used to it. And other restrictions. Of course, they have to throw the other restrictions in on it. What does Northam say? It is wrong that we now view these mass shootings as the new normal. Well, guess what, Ralph? It wouldn't be normal if, since 1950, 98% of all mass shootings didn't take place in gun-free zones. Politician-initiated gun-free zones. Mass shootings are taking place in areas sanctioned as gun-free by politicians. It's really the politicians' fault for disarming the people and actually empowering criminals. That's why I don't call them gun-free zones anymore. I call them criminal empowerment zones, because that's really what's happening. It's a welcome mat for all criminals so that they can have a safe working environment and meet with very little, if any, resistance at all, because they will have all the power in those zones. And these politicians are ensuring that this happens. It is past time to change. Yeah. You know what we need to change? We need to change the fact that these politicians have some kind of supposed right, legitimate right to rule the rest of us. That's what we need to change. Northam said he had previously asked the legislature for a number of tighter gun restrictions. Well, what he's really saying is that we want tighter people restrictions. It's not about controlling inanimate objects. It's about controlling actual human beings. But he said lawmakers repeatedly rejected his request. Well, thank God there's some kind of semblance of sanity in there, huh? This weekend's tragedy must instill in us what, Ralph? What should it instill in us? A new urgency to act. Translation, a new urgency to lay more gun restrictions on people. He said, if we can save one life, because I care about life. I care so much about life that I don't mind people killing babies in the womb. That's how much I care about life. Yeah, pound sand there, Ralph. If we can save one life because we acted now, it is worth it. Northam, a physician, rejects the claim that it is too soon after the tragedy to address the issues. Delays, he said, would only result in more deaths. No, actually, we do need to act. We need to get rid of the gun-free zones. We need to get rid of the gun-free zone signs and replace them with, this is not a gun-restricted zone. All occupants may be armed. Beware. Northam did not immediately reveal the dates for the special session. As an army doctor, I've seen firsthand what a bullet does to a body. Why do you have to be an army doctor to imagine what a bullet might do to somebody's body? And I saw it again this weekend. I can't imagine the devastation these families are suffering. Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax and Attorney General Mark Herring were among the state leaders who also appeared at the news conference, echoing their fellow Democrats' call for action. The three leaders have each been embroiled in controversy in recent months. In February, a blackface photo surfaced from Northam's medical school yearbook. Northam initially apologized. In other words, okay, I did it. I'm sorry. And then he said he wasn't in the photo. Days later, Fairfax was accused of sexual assault, which he admittedly denies, stemming from a 2004 encounter that drew calls for his ouster. Then Herring admitted he too donned blackface in the 1980s. So you got these ex-blackface dudes saying, hey, we need to initiate more people control so we can save the people. Now, there's something else I want to address before I leave this subject, because what's going to happen here is they're going to use this as another example to implement the TAPS Act. What the TAPS Act is, it's also H.R. 838, the Threat Assessment Prevention and Safety Act. Now, I'm going to read from the first paragraph of the bill that's going through. This right here is the House resolution. The Senate bill is Senate 265. And I'm just going to read this first paragraph right here. As mass casualty attacks continue to be a threat to public safety, it is clear that a proactive solution is needed in order to prevent future tragedies. Now, the tenor of this entire bill, this TAPS Act, is to prevent future tragedies. How are they going to do that? By the time we are reacting, it's too late. By bringing threat assessment experts together and utilizing evidence-based behavioral threat assessment and management processes, we can bolster public safety by implementing strategies to identify and stop dangerous individuals before they can commit acts of violence. This is Minority Report style pre-crime legislation. They're going to declare you a criminal and you don't have to have even committed an act of violence. That's what the TAPS Act is all about. And working in conjunction with the ERPOs, these red flag laws, it's going to be an absolute mess, guys. You talk about losing your freedoms, it's going to happen exponentially now. We have the expertise to combat the targeted violence plaguing our schools, places of worship, and public spaces, but we have yet to fully implement, and that's what they're looking for, guys, full implementation, full control, fully implement it to prevent attacks. In other words, to declare you a criminal before a crime even occurs. I'm going to leave this here, guys. Leave your thoughts about this for the world, the Google Thought Police, and Ralph Blackface Northam in the comments section below. If you guys enjoy these videos, be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, and share it with everybody you know. Also, check out over 100 hard-hitting designs in the shirt store, and if you want to support more content, hit me up on Patreon or PayPal. All those links will be in the description and in the pinned comment. I'll see you guys in the next heavily censored shadow ban video.